Hello everyone, I'm Broughy1322 and welcome to episode 88 of the Choking Hazard podcast, where we are quite light. This video is brought to you by you. Thank you so much for simply being here and enjoying my content. Please do leave a comment, like the video, and consider subscribing if you haven't already for a chance to see your name here in a future video. Quite light on numbers. Just me, RDT, and Hammer in the booth. We're here, but this is all of us. This is all we've got. No Nos. Josh is supposedly going to be arriving at some point, but we don't know when. RDT has to leave in an hour. Nos was going to be here, but couldn't make it last minute. So,
but we chug along. We do it for you guys because we know how much you love this show.
Yeah, we know how we couldn't let down our many hundreds of viewers.
Truly reflected in the statistics that we see each and every week from you guys. The support has been unreal.
Phenomenal support. I mean, look at the chat; it's popping off. Yeah, you don't get this on just any unpopular show.
That's true.
Actually, yeah. I need to find it again. There it is. Do you want the sunglasses, Hammer, or without sunglasses?
No, RDT's not wearing sunglasses, so we'll just go without
with the regular
sunglasses.
One. Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
I just copy anything that RDT does. So
I have I've moved a lot of stuff around on my OBS, so I need to re-add this as a scene. Well, as a source. There we go. There's Hammer.
Damn. You lose weight?
a little bit, yeah.
Nice. Looking good.
Thank you. Thanks.
Oh, I better flip you so you can. Where's that? Flip horizontal. There we go. Looking like inwards with the rest of us.
I don't like the way he's staring at me like that.
Yeah.
Just keeping an eye on you. Well, he said he does anything. He copies whatever you do, so he needs to keep an eye on you to make sure he's doing what you're doing.
Fair enough. I wish we could do some sort of AI where his mouth moves. I mean, you probably could do that.
Well, if you come to my stream, the mouth does actually move. So
does it?
The whole hammer moves around. Yeah.
Oh, we should try that. What did Josh suggest last time? He said it in our choke chat. He was like, we could do a multi-stream in a way on. Is it on Twitch or is it on Discord?
Oh, yeah, he said something about Twitch have some new functionality for streaming together or something.
Yeah.
Stream together.
It's basically like what we use now, but with Twitch. There'll be some limitation of it somewhere that'll make it unusable for our purposes, I bet. But
yeah, sell our souls over to Jeff Bezos.
That's how we stare at you too, RDT. See, every Hammer's hammer is just staring at you like everybody is. I'm just not here. In fact, I might as well. I just get rid of myself. There we go. This is this is how it should be.
It's the true takeover now.
Listen.
What
are we chatting about?
Week 88. I reckon we'll let's start with. I don't think we've ever done this before. Let's start with gaming news. The gaming news segment is normally after all of our regular segments, but Nos had about 4 different topics that he'd wrote down on the document, and none of those we can do because he's not here. One of the topics involved Nos, so we can't do that one either. Josh had 2 topics written down on the document, and he's not here yet. I have 1, but it probably would be better for when Josh is here. So let's just go into gaming news, because we asked in the pre-show, by the way, check out the podcast channel if you want to watch the pre-show. I asked RDT if he had anything to talk about since the last time we were doing this last month. No, nothing, no.
Yeah, I had about a 5-second pause. I don't know. Everything's been kind of just going smoothly, I guess. No craziness happening. I've gotten really into bowling recently. Maybe that's something I could talk about.
Really?
Yeah, and the weather's getting nicer, so I could take the bike out, but that's not really exciting.
What's your highest score with bowling?
I actually rolled a 187 a couple of weeks ago. Yeah.
I haven't been bowling in absolutely years.
Neither had I.
We used to, in the city that I live in, we used to have 2 massive bowling alleys. Now none.
Damn.
Really? Wow.
So like my closest bowling alley is like Edinburgh. It's like that's like, yeah, it's ridiculous.
I just
It's
recently.
a shame
picked
because
up
like
on- what were you gonna
sorry.
say?
I was just going to say, like, it's one of these things, like many things in my life, that I really enjoy doing, but I'm not very good at.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I just dedicated my life to getting good at it. And I'm not even that good at it right now. But I just recently picked up on, and I should have known about this, like street bowling done in Ireland. You should bring that over to Scotland. Start rolling some
Street
balls.
bowling.
What is street
Yeah.
bowling?
You kind of just stand on a rural road and just huck a ball or a rock down a road and try to hit a point, and whoever
Makes
goes
sense.
the furthest. Yeah.
Makes sense.
I mean,
yeah.
sounds like good crack. So
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I have. It's been a long time since I last went bowling. I was never particularly good. I mean, I was always just average on most things that I did. I was never the worst, but I was
It's
never the
always
best.
an enjoyable time, though.
But yeah,
Like,
you just have fun. Yeah.
The sound of a bowling alley is really
Yeah.
appealing. All the pins getting hit and stuff. It's
Yeah.
a really nice sound.
And you're waiting for when someone gets that strike, because it happens at least once a game. Like obviously when just random people are playing, not when people who've actually practiced who are aiming for strikes. But when you go out with a group of friends, someone's going to hit a strike at some point, and it's always like a cause for celebration. At least it was when we used to go.
yeah,
I
yeah.
had
That's the best.
I had a period in my early teens where every time I went bowling, I would get a strike on my first ball.
Oh, really?
Every single time, every single game, I would get a strike on my first ball and then never get a strike again for the entirety of the game.
Pressure's on. Perfect game's coming.
Yeah.
Hello?
Oh,
Oh, hey, what's up?
no
Hello.
way.
Josh
Oh my
is here.
god. I've been here for like 5 minutes. I just couldn't open Discord.
Oh.
It
So
just
you were only
refused
is
to
this your excuse to try to pretend that you were only 3 minutes late rather than 8 minutes late?
I was only a little bit late. Yeah, come on. Right, join room with camera. Okay, right. I'm coming. I'm on my way.
Okay, I have to move Hammer's hammer again.
Damn. Just put Josh in the top right.
Dog ate his Discord.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, hooray!
Right, hang on. Let me just
I'm going to
do my thing.
I'm going to switch the timestamp from gaming news to just chaos.
Do you know what?
Since you
That's
said,
fair.
let's talk about gaming news first. We've not talked about anything to do
Bowling's
with
a
gaming.
game.
The hammer perfectly covers his face.
Josh Hammer.
Oh god.
Wait, have you muted yourself in video as well? I heard you twice there.
Oh, yeah, there we go. There it is.
Looking very
Oh,
slim.
dear.
Let me move this.
Oh god, I haven't got chat open. Oh god.
Chaos is right. Peak podcast.
Yeah, anyway, sorry I was late. I was at the beach.
Oh,
It
the
was a lovely
beach.
day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was
What's
that the
the
beach
weather
in
like?
London?
No.
Bruff seemed to think you were in London today.
No, it was in London at some point this week. I didn't know when.
Yeah, it was only a couple of days. That's a story we'll get into later.
Well, we can get into it now if you want, because we got nothing else to talk about.
Oh, hey, your bot responds to a test. Okay, all right, okay. Oh, is it? So, what? There's loads of topics in here.
Yeah, but most of them are for Nos, which he's not here now. So.
Oh, great. So everyone who had topics wasn't here when I wasn't. Oh,
Exactly.
This
And I had one, but it
has
was better
been-
enough, So.
fantastic.
The most chaotic start to any podcast that we've done
I think
so
it
far.
has, actually, hasn't it? It really has.
Oh dear.
Oh,
I think
RDT's got
this
a
is
hard
great.
limit of 1 hour as well, so like we're squishing it all in.
Oh, what the fuck? Okay.
In these next
is there
50
no
minutes.
RDT topics? Like what?
I got nothing, man. My life's just been great.
No, okay.
I mean, that's a good reason for not having any topics, to be fair. Like, yeah.
I mean, yeah. Mine
Must
stuff's been
be
great.
nice. Let me tell you, must be nice.
Don't worry, the shoe's gonna drop at some point.
Yeah, okay, so I guess I'll talk. Yeah, I mean, my life's been good as well, just busy as all hell. So I was doing two things this month. I was traveling to Ireland to have like a little holiday with my friends in Ireland. But I was also contacted by an internet company who I'm intentionally avoiding saying the name of because they didn't pay me for that. I was contacted by them, or sort of, to do like a speedrunning based advert PR stunt thing for them. But as it is with these sorts of things, it was speaking of chaos, it was a horrendous mess. The dates kept moving, and the games kept changing, and all sorts of stuff. It was a disaster. But
So
yeah.
what, did it not end up happening?
No, it did happen by some miracle, but just barely.
But you didn't get paid for it.
I did.
I think you just said.
But no, they didn't. They're not paying me to advertise them on my socials, right? Like,
Oh, okay. They've paid you for a very specific thing, and you couldn't possibly mention it here because that would cost more money. They would need to give money to the Chalky Hazard podcast fund, I think.
That devalues my worth or something, right?
Fair enough. What was the idea? Just like, I play games fast and I need fast internet to do it?
Sort of, basically.
Yeah.
I'll start with Ireland first.
Sorry. Let me hang on.
Wait.
You stream GTA San Andreas, right? The most online game. You need that fast internet.
I don't think they didn't really know that. They just knew me as a speedrunner, right?
Okay.
Well, where is this ad going to be? Is it like...
Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll have to see. I know it's going to be the middle of May, because that's when they're releasing a new product, and it's to coincide with that. But I'm not sure what exactly form it's going to take. I don't know if it's just going to be like a PR like blog post or something, or if it's going to be like an advert on Twitch or something like that. I have no idea. They didn't know.
The game has been given away in the chat of to who it was. Like, don't know why he's being so mysterious.
Well, I don't know, man.
No, I understand the premise of that.
Yeah, but yeah. So I guess I'll start with my Ireland trip. Yeah, we normally, when I have like trips away at like speedrun events or to see friends and stuff, we just stay indoors all day, play video and or board games. Right, you don't really like see much of the country. Like, I've been to Sweden so many times, but I haven't seen much of it at all.
That's a shame.
So this time we decided that like, yeah, we're gonna have a proper like touristy holiday. So Wayno, who lives in Ireland, he set up a thing at Airbnb or whatever in like the middle of the country, like smack bang in the middle. And then we had like 4 traveling days where every single day we went a different direction. So one day we went north up to Northern Ireland and Belfast. Another day we went to east to Dublin. Another day we went west to Cork.
Oh, you went to Cork. You didn't go to Galway?
No, we went to Galway. That was it.
Okay.
Yeah. I need to look at a map of Ireland. Yeah, we went to Galway, and then we went south to Cork. Yeah, that's right. Or no, to Waterford, somewhere like that. I don't know.
Should have went to Dingle. Dingle's a fun town.
But I turned up a day late, and I thought I was going to have to leave early as well because of the internet advert thing. But yeah, when I got there, everyone there was just like, "Oh, should we tell Josh?" Or because Wayno has a car that he was going to drive us around in the whole time, but it had developed a problem. Now I was hoping Nos would be here to see if he could diagnose it from my vague description. But we'll see if you guys can do it. But basically what happens is, what was happening to the car is it would it drove everything fine, but if you accelerated, everything was fine. If you braked, everything was fine. But if you just coasted, the car would go ba-bum, 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 like, and vibrate and make a noise.
Okay.
And then I can't remember which way round it was, but if you turned a certain direction, it would make the noise as well, but not if you turned the other way.
When you say coasted, coasting like with just like in gear with just nothing on the throttle, so not in neutral or anything. Not
in neutral, no. Well, it also did it in neutral.
Okay.
Yeah, but if you weren't accelerating or braking, basically, any other action would do it.
Seems like a car problem if that happens. Yeah, I don't know
axle,
cars.
axle out of alignment or something like that.
Yeah, so there was all these things, and I like, we were there trying to think about it as well. And the day before I got there, they had spent the entire day taking the car to different mechanics and stuff.
Wait, really?
And none of them could figure it out. There was one mechanic that looked at it, like properly looked at it, and he said, "I don't know, transmission or something." But
Okay.
that doesn't make any sense, because then it would be when you're on the throttle, right? So our plan was we were just gonna like assume it's just a random noise and just keep driving until the car broke.
How did that go?
Oh, great! Until the car broke.
Oh, Jesus.
So there was in the place we were staying at was a golf course, like in one of their estate things or whatever. It was lovely, but to get in it, it was like a really long road with like really hideous speed bumps. You had to like crawl over, but every single time his car was like bottoming out and stuff. And it felt like every time we went in and out of that place, the noise and the vibration got worse.
Good.
Sounds about
But we
right.
drove around. We drove around for a couple days, like doing hundreds of miles, maybe. I'm not sure, like a long distance. And I drove the car because we went into Northern Ireland, which is the UK, so it made more sense for me to drive. And yeah, we were driving around and stuff. And one time we came out of the place and we were going to somewhere on that day. And as we were driving, it started getting really bad. And we were all looking at each other like, okay, what next? Like, when we get to where we're going, we'll stop and I'll rent a car for me, rent a car, and then we'll just use that and get the other one fixed. But then it got worse and worse and worse. And we were like, okay, the next town, because, it's Ireland, we're in the middle of nowhere. The next town will stop and get this fixed. And as soon as we said that, Kez, who was sat in the passenger seat on the left, he saw a bunch of stuff fly out from the wheel.
Oh, God.
And then the wheel came off.
Oh, God.
The wheel came off. Thankfully, we went clunk on it, and the brake disc held the wheel on, and we were scraping along on our brake disc on the wheel.
Oh, Jesus.
Thankfully, we weren't on a motorway or anything.
Yeah,
it was like a pretty slow road, but it was like a tight, like no overtake zone, and there was traffic.
Yeah. The roads in Ireland are absurd.
So we immediately pulled over, obviously, because it was terrible. And then we parked up, and then we were blocking the whole road. And then police came and started directing traffic and stuff, and we had to organize like a tow truck. But we were looking at it like, we looked at it, and obviously what had happened was all the bolts,
the bolts
lug
just
nuts,
loose.
they'd all just come out. They'd all flown out of the car. So a couple of us walked up the road, and like we found 3 out of 5 of the lug nuts, including the locking nut, which you need.
Yeah.
So we found those, and we were like, "Oh, there's your problem, right there."
Yeah, that wasn't the first thing you guys decided to try and do.
How could they have taken it to so many mechanics?
I
and
know,
no
right?
One, like...
So I know one of the places they took it to, Wayne had the tires changed like a month before or something.
Yeah.
And as soon as he did it, the car was kind of weird. So he took it back to him, and they said, "No, it's all fine." And then on that day I got there, they had taken it back to them again and said, like, "Hey, this is really screwed. Like, what happened?" And they said, "No, it's fine." They took it to loads of people, and
they
then
definitely didn't tighten them back up.
I know, right? It's insane.
That's nuts. You'd be amazed at how often that actually happens. That happened to my cousin one time. She got like a tire changed, and her wheel just came off or something. I don't think her wheel came off. I think she got back. Mm-hmm. And then noticed that the lug nuts were gone. And she's like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, so the tow truck guy came up, and it was this lovely, like, middle of Ireland guy who we could sort of only understand a little bit. But he turned up, looked at it, and were like, "Oh, how were you driving on that, lads? Surely it was making hell of a racket." We were like, "Yeah, we know. We took it to places. No one could find the issue." So it was crazy. So we were like thinking about the suspension, or the axle, or wheel bearings, or anything like that, or like that guy said transmission, which didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It was all that. Just the wheel wasn't done up.
That's
so
crazy.
So we gave the tow truck guy the nuts we found. He just jacked the car up, plonked the wheel back on, screwed it up, took one nut off of another wheel, put that on. Then we were like, "Can you check all of them?" Because so he went round to the front, there was one missing from the front already, and they were also loose.
Oh
from
my
the front
god!
right. So he did
Brother.
those up. And
Does your buddy have enemies? Like what? The
Yeah, it's like what the hell? It's like half the tires were done up on the bloody car. So anyway, and now Wayne's like gonna sue them or something. That's like quite rightly, he's pretty pissed with them.
That's
So,
unreal.
yeah, we on the last day before I left, we took it back to them, and they just was like, "Oh, it wasn't me that did it. Oh, it must have been this other guy." And yeah, crazy. But yeah, so that happened, and we didn't all die, which is good.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, it's always a positive outcome.
Like, I'm really surprised. Like, I was driving along motorways. Like, I'm glad it didn't happen while I was driving in someone else's car in a different country, like on the motorway.
Well,
I've
it's
got to
funny when you
say,
think about that. Yeah,
if
the
I
physics of it.
if I was hearing that noise, I don't think I would have gone, okay, let's just keep driving until it breaks.
Yeah, but they took it to so many places. They all said it was fine.
Yeah,
right?
that's ridiculous. I can't
It's
understand
crazy.
how they could get it
Yeah.
so wrong.
But yeah, it was whenever I realized at the end, it was whenever the weight of the car was pushed onto that wheel that it would make that noise. Like if you're not accelerating, the weight of the car's like flat or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was
I feel
ridiculous.
like it's just so
but-
difficult to find good places
Yeah,
for car
And, like,
workshops and yeah.
the one tow truck guy was just fantastic. Just did it by the side of the road, and we just drove away after that. He just said, "Yeah, everything's fine," and we just drove the rest of the time, and the car's just fine. Like there's superficial scratches in the center of the rim because it's all got scratched to hell by the brake disc, but it's just fine. I drove it as well after, and yeah, there was nothing wrong with it. It was crazy.
I can't imagine being in that passenger seat and just seeing like
Yeah,
that shoot
yeah.
out the side.
Yeah.
Imagine if there was like a bicyclist or something that just got
Oh my god.
But yeah, other
There's
than
always
that, it
something
was-
that happens to you with transport and travel.
I know, right? I intentionally didn't tweet or anything about this trip because I was like, I don't want anything bad to happen. I always curse myself as soon as I tweet where I'm going, like my train gets cancelled or something. Yeah, it was ridiculous. But yeah,
not
but,
taking any trips with you. Jesus.
but yeah, Ireland itself was lovely. Have you ever been to Belfast, Broughy? Or Hammer?
I was meant to go to Belfast just after Christmas for a wedding,
Right.
and I was ill, so we couldn't go.
Oh, okay.
But I've been to Ireland itself. I was 7 years old though, but we did
Right.
like a trip around Ireland. Some of the places you
Mhm.
mentioned, Waterford, Cork, Dublin. We went
Yeah,
to all
yeah.
those places.
What about you, Hammer? Did you ever go to Belfast?
I've never been further east than Birmingham.
Ah, you never been to Wales?
West,
west, you mean?
even.
West.
Right,
I always
okay.
get east
Yeah.
and west mixed up.
I do as well.
Yeah, I've never
That's
been further
mad.
west than
Okay.
Birmingham. Yeah.
Right.
I don't
You
know
guys had
why.
an empire.
I know.
You guys had.
I always get it
East
mixed
and
up as
West.
well. Actually,
To
In
be
fact-
fair, east, I've been to Istanbul, so that's
Yeah,
kind of
okay,
far
all
away.
right, all right.
So
Even more east.
you know, I've done a fair distance east, but west, not yet. Not
Okay.
yet.
Well, anyway, the reason I ask is, yeah, Ireland itself is like a weird mix of like Europe and America, and also Britain a bit. Is how I would describe it. But then Northern Ireland and Belfast. Belfast was so cursed. Like as someone from England, it was so weird. It was like this weird mix of just like London or something, but also Ireland. There was like one of the first things we saw when we got there was that on the high street there was a Penny's, which is an Irish brand, next to a Primark, which is the same brand but a different name as the UK one. Then there was next to those a Game and a HMV, like not inside of another shop, not like a tiny little thing, like a full-size Game and HMV on the high street, like it was like 2010.
I mean,
I
we
was
still
like-
have some of that up here in the northeast. Actually, to be
Really?
fair,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
But like I can't. There was a Greg's, and on the
Imagine
high
having a
street.
Greg's.
No, but
Imagine.
no, but on the high street, right? All of the touristy places, they said they take pounds and euros, right? Because
Okay,
makes
yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
But then you went into Greg's, and like half of the stuff in Greg's had a big label on it that said "Not for EU" on it. Right? So you like
Oh, I
weren't allowed
see.
to pay in euros, and I think it has to be some crazy tax thing because it was like all the hot food you couldn't buy with euros. So I think it's something to do with that.
I think that,
but yeah, that was like crazy.
Hot food from Greg's has some like different tax implementation.
Yeah,
exactly. And that's why they can't heat it up again. They cook it first and then they leave it sort of warm. But they if you ever go in Greg's and ask them to like heat it up again for them or something like that because it's been left out for a while, they can't do it. Because they have to do it very specifically to get a certain tax bracket or something.
Yeah. And if you like if you say you eat in, you have to pay extra.
What is Greg's for? Is it like a convenience store?
No, it's like a bakery.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
it's like
rolls,
it's classed as a bakery, but it's like
it's kind of like
we also sell like meat pies and things like that in that sort of.
I think of it as like
they sell like sandwiches and drinks and stuff.
You can find about 4 or 5 of them in every like.
I think of it as like a fast food bakery, kind of.
Yeah,
it's like a down market prep manger.
Okay.
Sure, yeah. Yes. Yeah, actually, that's a good way. Yeah. It's like a very British thing, right? But yeah, it was just in Ireland, in Belfast. But yeah, there were loads of other things. But the most cursed thing that ever happened was Tony, who's like our American friend. He wanted to withdraw some Great British pounds. Oh, also, before I get there, actually, we're in Ireland. Tony has a visa to go to Ireland and visit as American. Can he go to Northern Ireland? We looked it up. We can't find any documentation about whether he was allowed over the border or not. So we just went anyway and just prayed no one stopped us.
There's probably no documentation because... What? Say again?
Like, I don't think... I only needed, back in September, my passport to get into Ireland.
Oh, it wasn't a visa thing, was it? Right, okay.
Yeah, I think you're fine. Going forward next year, I think we'll need visas to come over and visit. But I also don't think Ireland's going to be included in that.
Okay. But it's weird because, like, it looks like it's the classic mix of Brexit, but also the Good Friday Agreement. Like, which one is stronger, sort of thing, right? Like,
I mean, there's probably no documentation on it because nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Nobody's figured it out yet.
We never got stopped or checked anyway, so we never found out if he was allowed in or not. But because, like, what if he just then from Belfast takes like a boat or something into Great Britain, like the islands? Like, if we just
it's a total mess, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's awful. But anyway, when we were in Belfast, he wanted to withdraw some Great British pounds from an ATM to take home with him because it's like British money. Now I want to show the audience. Right now, it's common for like this is what our money looks like, right? This is a £10 note, right? A British £10 note. It's got the Queen on multiple times. It's made of plastic. You can through it and stuff.
An English £10 note.
Yeah, okay. So that's what I was getting to, right? The Scottish £10 note is different, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got otters on our £10 note.
Okay, but it will
you
say...
just do everything better.
But it will say like Bank of Scotland or something on there, right? Like,
yes,
it's like minted by the Scottish government, right? Okay. So it's like, okay. So, maybe like, maybe reasonable that like Northern Ireland would have its own different money, right? Do you know what's not reasonable? This is branded Danske Bank, which is a Danish bank, and it has their branding on it. Like, this isn't a government money. This is like a bank money, right? And it turns out when he withdrew this, I was like, what the fuck is this branded Monopoly money, right? Like, this isn't... It turns out, in Northern Ireland, a bunch of banks have the right to print their own money.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it's like in Scotland as well.
Really? Like, you just have different banks just have their own money? No,
there's like 2 banks that do the money for the country.
Because you don't have like a national printing press sort of thing, so the banks do.
But do they look different?
Do they have different to English notes? Yeah.
Yeah, but it's different from each other. And do they have the name of the bank on it?
They're like Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Does it have like a pot of greed on there?
Really? What the hell?
Three banks. Sorry, Big Puffin is correcting me.
Right. Okay.
It's the same in Scotland. 3 banks.
Okay. All right.
Like, yeah.
So maybe it's not that crazy a thing, but like, I don't know. It was just like, who withdrew this? I was like, what the hell is this? Like, it's a Danish bank giving out Northern Ireland, like, UK money.
Unusual,
Listen, man.
yeah. That doesn't happen in Scotland. It's
Yeah.
Scottish banks or
Yeah.
banks that purport to be Scottish.
But like,
you know,
but like, I want to know, like when every time I used cash there, people gave me like real money. Like they gave me like this, right? Like this I got from a taxi driver. Like what happens if I try to pay someone with this? Like here, if I go to my corner shop and give them this.
I mean, the fact that it's a different color is pretty confusing too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
like,
Like
why'd you give me a $5? Like,
yeah,
generally,
like,
so
it's so cursed.
I used to work in a supermarket on the checkouts, and whenever we got like people over from Ireland, they would pay with this funny money, and I would immediately be confused and be like, "What the fuck is this?" But as long as it says sterling on it, pretty much you're golden.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, as long as it says sterling on it, you're golden. You need to do, obviously, you need to do the security checks on the notes and whatnot. But
yeah.
as long as it says sterling on it, it's legal tender.
Right. Okay.
Unless it's from Scotland and you're trying to use it in England, in which case they can reject the money from Scotland, because technically all money from Scotland is a legal tender.
That's what I was.
Technically.
That's what I was going to say, because I'm pretty sure I've seen plenty of signs in like certain places as you
Yes,
get further north towards closer
they
to
don't-
Scotland that say no Scottish money and stuff like that.
They don't have to take it,
Yeah.
but they can take it, and it doesn't cost them anymore. It doesn't. The only reason they would not be taking it is because they're dicks.
Right.
That's the only reason.
Crazy. Yeah, we looked it up, and it was like the description of this is like, oh yeah, it can be spent like genuine tender. So it's like not real is what it sounds like.
Can be
Yeah,
spent.
that's what it's like in Scotland as well.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
like, yeah, it's
like a bank IOU, right? Like not actual.
it's,
Like
it's a representation of a
IOU.
pound, not
Yeah.
a real
Yeah.
pound.
like whenever I'm in England and I've got Scottish money, I always ask first. Is it
Yeah.
okay if I spend with that? And like 9 out of 10 times they'll say, yeah, no bother, no
Right.
problem at all.
Okay.
But like you do get the odd one or two that are like, no, we don't take that sort
Okay.
of thing. It's just like, fuck off.
Maybe I'm just
Yeah.
like where I'm in the south coast of England, and we're just
Yeah.
like, what the hell is this? Right?
Your
Like-
little bubble.
yeah. Okay,
But I mean, at the end of the day, isn't that what all money is? It's just an IOU.
yeah,
Yeah.
but from the government, not from a bank. Like, what happens if Danske Bank goes under? Like, is this worth anything? If that happens,
I mean, the picture's pretty sick. That dude looks like he's roasted. It looks like he's so hot.
Damn.
yeah. But anyway, yeah. So that was Belfast. Everything was super weird in Belfast. Like,
It's kind of
it was
weird
like-
that you're just using cash in the first place, to be honest. I just never use cash anymore for anything.
Well, it was only a few things. It's just
Yeah.
like to be easy, like the parking machine and stuff like that. Really.
Okay. I still use my
Yeah.
phone for that.
Really? Okay.
I just use my phone for everything.
Okay.
Apple Pay.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, yeah, that was Ireland. We went around a bunch. We saw the cliffs of Moher, I think they were called.
More cliffs of more.
More, something like that. Yeah. I don't know, whatever it was called.
Look at these otters on this Scottish £10 note.
Oh yeah, okay, that's all.
Incredible.
Oh yeah, what are they doing?
Looks like they're about to get freaky.
Yeah,
Sheesh.
okay. What's that in the
Strange.
background? Like a tree or something? Like.
Huh.
Okay. But yeah, okay, so yeah, anyway, yeah, Ireland was nice. We drove around like a ton of crappy roads, a ton of good roads. Yeah, wheel came off at some point.
normal things.
Normal for you, it was good, yeah. But yeah, when I was out there, halfway through it, I was checking my emails, and I realized that I got told that the thing moved again. So this company that's doing like PR for this internet company, like a advert thing, they've been like, they emailed a while ago looking for like UK speedrunners, right? And they wanted to do
Specifically
an advert.
speedrunners as well.
Yes, specifically speedrunners. They wanted speedrunners to do a record in this third-person shooter game, right? So they contacted UKSG, which is like the biggest UK speedrunning marathon here, and they gave them a bunch of names, me included, and said, "Hey, do you want to do this or whatever?" It was all expenses paid with like, and also money on top.
In
And I was
London,
just
I'm
like,
guessing. Is that why you were in London? Yeah.
Yeah, in London, in the internet company's headquarters in London.
Okay.
And I was just like, yeah, sure, but like I'll be in Ireland during it. Is that a problem? And they're like, no, we can fly you out. So I was like, okay.
Oh wow.
But yeah, so was talking to them for ages, and then at one point, like a week into it, the game changed and went from a third-person shooter, which is presumably why I was recommended because GTA. It got then changed to a racing game to F1 23.
All right. All right.
I was just like, okay, that's a big change. So everyone else that was in, I guess, just dropped out, or whatever, but not me because I also do racing games.
Yeah. It was like made for you.
Yeah, like a speed running, but also a racing game
But
thing. I was
was
like, yeah,
was
okay.
speed running F1? Like, is that not just setting a good lap, or like was there a
that
specific?
is. So what they wanted us to do a record in was Silverstone, like a lap record of Silverstone.
Okay.
Yeah,
So, like,
simple.
They kind of moved away from speedrunning there, really, to just like driving, just motorsport.
But I, when they told me this, I was like, okay, so we went from like this third-person shooter I can't even remember the name of that like 5 people have done a run of probably to like F1, which is a thing with like an entire esports scene and stuff. And I was like, I can try, but like there's like professional esports like organizations that do races all the time, and I'm not going to be able to beat them. And I was like, if you keep it to speedrun.com records, it'll be fine, right? Because if you go on speedrun.com and F1 23, there's like hardly any records, right? There's like not much. Like,
what are the categories of that? Like getting through the career quickly or something?
Yeah, full game, you've got all tracks, which is just you do a race on all the tracks with no rules or rules on. And then after that, you just have like individual tracks, like just like lap records, and then like free lap and full race and stuff like that.
Okay.
So they wanted us to do Silverstone because UK, Great Britain, and there's like there's like a 7 runs of this. So I was like, I'm not so sure we can do a record in like a day for this, but okay. And they were asking me what equipment I wanted. So I was like, I want a wheel and pedals and like a proper sim rig and stuff. And they were like, yeah, okay, we can get all that and stuff. They're asking me if I could bring my sim rig, and I was just like, no, like no. But then there was some other guy they were emailing, so they had like a second person who I'd never heard of before, and they said, oh, he can bring some stuff so you can use his. So I was like, yeah, okay, sure, whatever. So then they had the date set to like while I was in Ireland, and then while I was in Ireland on like an evening, we were in the Airbnb sort of early, I was checking my emails. I had 2 emails from them. I had an email of a game change and a date change, 2 separate emails.
Jesus.
So they changed the game again from F1 23 to a game called Grid Legends, which I'd never heard of before.
I remember that.
Yeah. And they had changed the date to like the day after I come back from Ireland. So it's like, okay, it's all fine. But it turned out they had been talking. I don't know if after I had linked them to speedrun.com or what, but they were talking to Meta, who's like the community manager for speedrun.com, right? He like runs it and stuff. And fucking thank God for Meta, because he steered them in exactly the right direction. He wrote like a little Google Doc that was like, okay, here are the easiest records to beat in Grid Legends that were UK like Brands Hatch.
Yeah.
He found like if you use an electric car on Brands Hatch Indy and you do 1 lap, like there's only 1 record and it's not that good, right?
Yeah.
So like he made like a Google document and here's all the settings you need and everything you need to do to get the game running and all that. So thank God for that. So that made it actually doable. But as part of the promotion, because it's an internet thing, they wanted us to use cloud gaming for it. The Xbox cloud gaming,
brother.
Yeah. So I have to do a record in a racing game of cloud gaming with like delay and stuff. I was like, okay, I made it very clear, like I will try.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then the day I get back from Ireland, right? I get back here at like 8 p.m. I literally go to sleep. I wake up and they wanted me to travel out there a day early before the actual shoot and stuff. So I had to leave here at 10 a.m. So I came here, slept, changed my bag, got new clothes, and left again.
God.
Oh my
Went all the way up to Ireland. Sorry, not to London, not Ireland. I went all the way up to London on the train, and then when I got there, they were like, they booked a taxi for me at the train station, so I went all the way to their headquarters. And then I got to their headquarters and they were running late. So I went in and waited for them. And the security guard came up to me and asked if I was all right, because I was just in some random internet company headquarters. And I was like, yeah, I'm waiting for some people. And there were people filming outside and stuff until eventually, they come in and the people that were filming come in and they were part of our group and stuff. There was like a ton of us and like one guy that worked there to let us in. Yeah, we went upstairs, and what they had done is they had taken like one of the meeting rooms, like on the 17th floor, which was pretty cool to go up. But they had taken one of the meeting rooms, and they had just taken black fabric and like blacked the whole thing out like a box in the middle of it. So you walk in, and it's like this pitch black room, and they had like whatever you think of a boomer's idea of what a gaming room should look like. Is what it looked like, right? There were like neon lights everywhere, and like in the center, a little rug with like a widescreen TV in it, and then half a sim rig was there, just the chair of the sim rig.
This is unbelievable.
Just the chair, just loose. They put weights in the bottom of it so it wouldn't fall over. It was just a chair. I wonder if I can find a picture. Actually,
but this is like for Grid Legends. Like I assumed that when they changed to Grid Legends, they would have just gone to a controller at that point, because like it's not. It's an arcadey kind of game, really. Like it's Codemasters arcade,
So about that, they wanted us to use a wheel and stuff just because it would also look good on camera, right? Because they're filming us. But the problem is you can't use peripherals in cloud gaming on Xbox.
Oh, of course.
They don't work. You have to use an official Xbox controller, and that's the only thing that works. Here, I'm sending you a picture of what it looks like. That's going to tell you what the company is.
This is what happens when you get PR companies doing PR for things that they don't know anything about.
Yeah. So they were all lovely, and
yeah,
I liked everyone there, and we had to then switch to a controller, so we were in full racing suit.
I can see that
with the company's branding on it. Yeah, like there's Dan, the guy that was there.
Can I show this?
Says the company. Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm not saying them out loud. I don't care. I did take some pictures that didn't show the company, but I can't be asked to find them. But everyone was really cool, and they were like a filming company, right? So we were they treated us like the talent. That was what we referred to as, was the talent. So we were proper like treated like actors and stuff. There were like two women who were like chauffeuring us around and would go and get anything we wanted. Right? So I got a ham sandwich, an orange juice, 2 bananas and stuff. Like I just
really pushed the
2 bananas.
Yeah. It was great. So that was fun. And being treated as like the actors or whatever.
Did they have like hair and makeup? Did they do anything to your hair?
No, they didn't do any of that. They asked me in one of the emails if I wanted to tie my hair back, and I was like, no. And they're like, okay. Annoyingly, I came out in a load of spots that I still sort of have, like on the day, because of course. But yeah, I think they just filmed me from the other side, like I noticed they were doing intentionally. But yeah, so we were around and stuff, and everyone was always like, "Oh, you okay? Like, you all right? Like to do stuff or whatever." So that was fun, and everyone was super cool. I was talking to all the lighting guys about like various nerd things, like retro gaming and what they were doing and stuff, because I was interested in all that. So yeah, it was a good time. Everyone was super friendly. Some of the people from the company, one of the guys that was there who was letting us in and stuff, it's hard to know if he's just doing the corpo speak crap. But he was very friendly, and it was like, "Oh, what internet are you providing you with? Oh, we've got to set you up with our connection and stuff. Or, oh, we'll sort your phone bill out and all this stuff." It was like super friendly. I'm sure I will never hear from him ever again.
Yeah.
But the other guy who was with me was like, I guess, buying into all of it. Oh yeah, the other guy that was with me, lovely guy. I loved being with him. I'm glad he was there because he was better at Grid Legends than me, and he was better at doing all the silly acting stuff they wanted us to do.
Okay.
But he was an 18-year-old guy who just did speed runs during COVID for fun and then stopped. and he plays on Xbox, records it from his phone, and then uploads it to YouTube. That was how he did his runs.
Oh wow!
But yeah, Meta found him on the F1 leaderboards, and he was like, "Hey, here's a guy that does F1 speedruns from the UK. Get him in." So like, yeah, this kid who's just a student just came down and was like, so he had me, who's like a full-time streamer or whatever, who's like sort of okay with this, and then just a guy.
This is so crazy. Like, what a story this is.
It was ridiculous. It was amazing. And but the problem was they were all talking to us like, "Oh, you're gonna be able to do this world record. Oh, it'll be great for the PR if you could do this world record. You know, it'll be great for the story." And I'm just like, "Oh God, like I don't know if I, whatever." So then the day of filming comes. Oh yeah, we had a really nice hotel. They literally just booked the closest hotel to the place, and people came with us into the hotel. We never talked to a single other person. They talked to the reception for us. I was like, "Hey, we got a booking for these two people," and they took the cards and paid for the extra like early entry stuff, and just then turned and gave us the cards. Right, it was like talking for us. It was very strange.
Damn, you got a taste of the sweet
life.
Yeah,
got the celebrity taste of life. Yeah, that's
we
nice.
both had our own massive room and stuff. But yeah, anyway. And the dinner, they just said order whatever we want, and we'll reimburse you. So I
got a ham and cheese.
No. I got like one of everything from KFC.
What are you talking about?
I got a little private bucket of chicken. You
could have gone to like a fancy restaurant or anything. You're in London.
There was KFC down the road. I was like, hell yeah. I got like 40
I just went to Nando's.
Nah, caviar. I didn't want to get caviar and take the piss, right?
I mean, no, don't take the piss, but you could have at least gone to somewhere better than KFC.
What in KFC? So I sat in my pants in my hotel room eating KFC. It was great. I was pretty happy.
You're like friggin' Kevin McAllister in Home Alone 2. You're like, oh, this is the sweet life.
Oh, dude.
You're lucky Nos, isn't he?
Yeah, Nos would be shrieking right now.
So then we go to the day of the shoot, right? Because it was a 2-day thing. We get there at 9, and they let us in and stuff, and we go up, and they're sorting all the stuff out, and then we're doing some filming. So they wanted to film us like walking into the set and sitting down and having the controller, looking serious and playing the game, right? So they did that for like ages. Then the head of the gaming division of the company, because they have like a gaming push in the internet, he came in and chatted with us and like did a bunch of like photos with us and played the game and set his own time and stuff. The thing is, he had done some motorsports before, and he had driven Brands Hatch in real life before. So he was like, "Oh, yeah, okay, I'll give it a shot," or whatever. When he was driving, I didn't tell anyone, he beat the world record.
Oh, okay.
When he was driving just for fun during the shoot. The record was like a 44, and he did like a 43 and a half, and I just didn't say anything. I was just like, "Oh God, don't mention that."
Yeah, I'm guessing it wasn't a difficult record.
No. It was like, super specific, like this, like a certain layouts of Brand Hatch in an electric car, which nobody's racing those, right? But yeah, he came in, he had he set a time or whatever, and then we were doing more shoots and some stills and stuff, like, oh God, the things they were getting us to do. I wanted us to like one of the things we had to do was walk into the building in our full race suits, but they wanted us to synchronized walk into the building. So I had to stare at Dan's feet as I was walking and like synchronize with him. We had to walk in every different door of the building and then walk out with them shooting from the inside and all sorts of stuff.
God. Josh, you're somebody that memorizes complex button combinations and specific strategies in speedrunning video games, and you're telling me you couldn't go right, left with a guy next to you?
He was out of pace, not me. I just told him, you just walk and I'll just copy you. That's what we did.
Oh my God.
Was this worth it, by the way? Like, you don't have to tell us how much you got for this, but was it worth it? Like it was.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like 4 digits or anything, but like it was worth it.
It was right. Okay. All right.
I liked it just for the experience.
Oh yeah,
really.
okay, that's fair.
It was all expenses paid. I spent nothing, right? So
I mean, you didn't. They didn't pay much expenses for you if you went to bloody KFC and got a ham sandwich.
£40 worth of KFC I got. It was loads. But yeah, so then we did all that, and then the CEO of marketing came in and played a bit, and he was a bit slower, and yeah, he played with us and stuff. Then we were like doing some more shooting and other stuff. Then the CEO of the entire company came in.
Wow.
I was like shaking our hand, talking to us and stuff, and he came in with like 2 women, who I guess were his like wife and daughter or something, and they were like drinking, so they were having a good time.
Jeez.
But they
This is a big ad campaign.
I know, right?
Yeah, I know. They were taking lots of pictures they were saying for internal use. So I guess they were just going to like, show like, hey, look, our CEO's cool employees.
Yeah.
And stuff
That's
like
going to be in the new hire deck. It's going to be
Yeah. But yeah, they were coming in, and then by this point, it's like 2 p.m. and I'm like, hey, when are we actually going to, just play the game? Like I was expecting to sit down and like grind a record all day with other stuff happening, but it wasn't that. So then eventually the guy who was like in charge of the PR company was like, all right, guys, we got to like let them actually do a record. And he was like, yeah, okay, can you like please beat one? Like he sort of knew that they were sort of easy to beat because he had been one in the emails. So he was like, all right, please do at least one, because otherwise this whole PR campaign doesn't make any sense. So yeah, then I sat down and then I did the track that we were getting the executives to do, and yeah, I did like it was a 44 record, and I did like a 39 or something.
Okay. Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. But I was being filmed as I was playing, and then at some point someone asked me, how's it going? And I was just like, yeah, it's okay, I've already done this record. And the guy filming me went, what? It's like, you did a world record? I was like, yeah. And he was like, why do you look fucking happy about it then? And he like filmed me, like waiting for a reaction, and I just go stone for, because it was piss easy. I did like 3 laps.
You were supposed to do it and be like, yes!
Yeah! I can't play it up super a lot because the guy knows it's easy, and then I can't underplay it because everyone's there just for it, right? Like this campaign. I was like, oh god, like, what am I supposed to do? And then Dan, the other guy, was being just like truthful with everyone, just being like, oh yeah, it'll be easy, we could probably do more or whatever, and I'm just like, shut up! Yeah.
Did they have you guys like spraying champagne on each other at the end of the ad campaign?
they wanted to do that, but they weren't allowed to for some reason. And they wanted to.
This is the easiest job in the world.
We had caps on that had the company name on, and like they wanted to have a smoke machine, but they couldn't because of the sprinklers and stuff. Yeah, it was crazy. And yeah, Dan sat down and just smashed out a bunch of records. But we only played for like, we were supposed to play for ages, but he played for like 30 minutes. Oh, also, they really were anal about actually meeting the speedrun.com rules, because I guess they think of it as like a Guinness World Record thing. So like, right, we must meet these requirements. Like Meta had told them that like, you have to have a clean recording of the game, show all the settings and all that. So they were really anal about us
taking it very
that.
seriously.
But they had no idea how to record the game.
Oh,
none.
Really?
At no point was I asked, oh, by the way, how do you record your speedruns or anything? They didn't know. We turned up and they were like, oh yeah, we don't actually know how to record. Like, how do you record at home? And I was just like, with a PC and a bunch of equipment. And I was like, oh, they were like, oh, what? And I was like, an Elgato capture card. And they were looking it up like, oh, we can get one. I'm like, no, you need a computer. I was like, yeah, we have Macs. I'm like, no. Because all of that like filming industry all uses Apple, right? They don't use Windows, so nothing.
And they didn't think about this beforehand.
Yeah, no, it never came up apparently. So we found like there's a screen recording thing you can do on the Xbox. Oh no! First of all, I was like, okay, I know the Xbox could just stream to Twitch. I'll just do that.
Yeah. So
I put in my alt account like Botimus, and then I was like, I'll just stream to this. It turns out you can't stream to Twitch while using cloud gaming.
Of course you can't.
So I was like, fuck. So I spammed all of my followers on my second account with like just blank recording, trying to get it to work. But eventually we found that you can screen record, but you can only do it like for like a minute. You can
do like 2 minutes, I think.
Yeah, on the internal memory.
Yeah.
But if you plug in an SSD or an external storage device, then you can record for like up to an hour.
Oh, interesting.
So we were like, oh, okay, we'll do that, right? But then all the SSDs they had for all their cameras and everything, like USB ones, are all formatted for fucking Macs.
Oh my god!
none of them would register
This
on the
is
Xbox. So the
unbelievable.
Xbox is like, oh, I want an NTFS like format. I can't remember what it's called. Some combination of letters like that, like a Windows proprietary format. So then we had to find some jank open source software to convert their SSD on Mac into a Windows format. And then they can only read to it. They can't write to it. So they were like, good enough. Like we started, and then we would press record, and then the menu would go away in the Xbox, and then you'd open it again, and it hadn't actually started. So Dan sat down at one point, did 3 records, and then found out it wasn't recording.
Oh my!
So then we had to do it again, and then double check it was recording. Oh, it was horrendous.
This is amazing that you're giving them technical advice as well.
Know, right?
You've set up the recording for them.
We played the game in total for about an hour and a half, like between us. So, like 45 minutes for me, 45 minutes Dan. We ended up, I had 2 records and Dan had 2 records. So that works out. I'm happy with that. But it was, then we went straight back to filming other crap. And just, we had to find a screen that said one of our lap times on it and pose in front of it. And Dan was really into getting into it at this point. He was doing everything they wanted, like all the silly, goofy faces and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm not that expressive. Like I'm like, semi-autistic speedrunner, right? Like I can't do like emotional things. So they were like, they pointed at the screen, like, yeah, cheer, Josh, like be really excited. I'm like, yeah. They were like, open your eyes more and stuff, and I'll be really into it. I was like, yeah, I can't do that.
Whatever they paid you, it wasn't enough. I agree.
So we're there for ages with like the guy, like, yeah, work it, yeah, ham it up more, yeah, put your input down, put your arm on his shoulder, yeah, now fist bump, yeah, now
Stick
look at
that
each
ass
other
out.
and cheer, right? Yeah, it was literally like that. And I was like, oh my god, like.
Jeez.
They realized Dan was more into it than me, and then they started getting. I noticed they didn't tell me this, but they got him to do all the stuff. Like they wanted to video us pressing the game mode on the router and stuff like that. So,
I see. So, I'm so excited to see the finishing product.
Yeah,
of this.
I want to see the final. They said they were going to send us all the assets and everything, so maybe I'll get sent it. So maybe next episode I can show you all of it. Maybe it will just be an advert on Twitch or something. I don't know.
Could be on TV.
Oh my
Getting
god!
shown at prime time after Coronation Street.
It's gonna end up like that. You remember that episode of SpongeBob where they did a commercial for the Krusty Krab? And it's like just SpongeBob's hand, and you're like, "Look, it's me, I'm on TV."
Yeah. It's going to be all Dan and like a tiny.
Yeah, Bloody Squirrel said that in the chat earlier, calling it now. Yeah. Josh will not appear in this advert. It'll all be Dan.
Yeah. But yeah, they're launching some new internet package specifically for gamers or something.
Okay.
So this is going to be with that campaign at the beginning of the middle of next month. So we'll see. But yeah, so that was a thing, and what I came in expecting to do was to sit in a chair, play a video game for several hours with maybe people filming me and talking to me and stuff. And like, I could, do a few shot stuff. What I did not expect is to play the game for an hour, do all the records they wanted because they were actually really easy, but then somehow make out to be like a big deal that we did these world records in like an hour after sitting down like for 2 minutes. Like, oh my God, it was a whole thing. Fun,
well, that was a phenomenal story. I unfortunately do have to get going.
Yeah, go on.
But that was
worth being here for. I'm
so glad I was here for that. That was amazing. I'm still upset that you only got KFC. The two bananas. That really does.
Yeah, I know. Right?
I had more sandwiches and stuff, but yeah, I guess I should have asked.
I swear to God, if Nos ends up watching this, he's going to have words for you next month.
Well, he'll have to watch it.
Oh, dude.
Oh my God. That was fun. All right.
Yeah.
See you later, RDT.
See you later, boy. Yeah, he thought I was bad. Dan was asking for nothing. And every time I was like, oh, can I have this? Can I have this? Yeah.
Did you say he was 18? So he's probably too shy to ask for anything. Like,
He was super into it by the end, though. He was like, everyone was like, oh, you should have been a method actor, Dan. Oh, yeah. It was so good. I was just glad I wasn't having to do all of the stupid stuff.
Is he still he speed ran some stuff during? You said he speed ran some stuff during COVID, but does he have an online presence like a YouTube channel on Twitch or anything? No.
He has like a tiny YouTube channel, but that's it. He doesn't know his login to Twitch. He doesn't use it.
Okay.
And when we were talking, like just chilling with each other, chatting, he was asking me like, "Oh, have you played this game? Have you played Clash of Clans? Have you played this other mobile game?" And I was like, "No, what? I don't know what any of these are." Right?
What? How did they find? Oh yeah, you said they got it from like the
speedrun.com
speedrun
guy.
leaderboards.
Yeah,
but then
I mean, to be fair, that would be better, like as what you want.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was so funny. So Meta from speedrun.com. I need to remember to send him a message, just be like, "Thank you."
Yeah, it could have been so much worse.
Yeah, if they were just like, "Oh, now please do a record on Silverstone with a petrol car or like whatever," it would have been possible.
Yeah, beats the current world record that was set by like some guy in Japan or something who spends every single day lapping it to get the best on F1 esports driver or something.
Oh, would have been horrendous.
That's crazy.
Yeah. The cloud gaming, funnily enough, didn't actually feel that bad. So
yeah, that's probably because you had like gigabit up and down, like best possible situation.
The head of networking was there to sort our internet out for us. He stayed there the entire day. As soon as there was any kind of issue, he jumped into action and fixed the network.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had hella gig, like it was like over a gig connection, and like we were in the headquarters, so I imagine we have like the node is like right there. So.
Yeah, very little latency to where you need to be for the cloud gaming. Yeah.
The Xbox server is probably also in London somewhere, so I was probably playing on an Xbox like across the road.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of shows you how advertisements stack the deck so much in their favor, like in terms of all that internet infrastructure stuff as well, but also the speed runs going for the easiest one to say that they got a world record in it, like all this combined to make a crazy.
They were very careful to make it real, though. Like they wanted the router that was in all the shots to actually be the one that was providing the internet.
Yeah, right.
We suggested like, hey, Dan brought all of his wheel and stuff from like way further than I went. I don't want to dox him, but it was like further than I went, like twice the distance. And he brought like his wheel in a suitcase, and they never used it. And we were like, hey, we could set it all up and like pretend to be driving. It would look better for camera. And they were like, no, because people will know that it doesn't work in cloud gaming.
Okay, that had to be accurate still.
Yeah, they had to be accurate. And people from Microsoft came in to double check that the Xbox was being presented correctly and all this stuff.
This seemed like a big operation. Like it was a proper.
The reason they had to change games was because the game developers said no, they don't want to be part of it. That's why they had to change. I asked them.
But it's the same developer.
I know, right?
It's Codemasters.
Does EA publish Grid Legends though?
Oh, maybe. But EA owns Codemasters, right?
Yeah, I don't know, but for whatever reason, I guess because there's a new F1 game coming out, is what
probably
they said.
That'll be that. Yeah.
They
wouldn't want it to be on F1 23 when they're about to start their push for F1 24.
Which is probably why they've said, hey, we have another game called Grid Legends. So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It was insane.
That's
we were
crazy story.
We were like super high up the building. I posted a picture on Twitter to like, I was like, hey, guess where I am, right? Because it was like, I had an insane view of London. I'll put some up.
I saw your tweet about that, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, this is what the office looked like.
From the other side, I see.
Yeah, from the outside, that's what it looked like.
There you go.
Yeah, that was it. They just like we were just
converted an office into.
Yeah, it was like a meeting room that they had just taken all the tables and stuff out of, and just like put a black box in there, and then but the view was really nice, which I put in there.
Oh yeah, I'll show that as well.
Yeah. That was like, we were like in downtown financial London, right? And there's like the Shard, not in this picture, but to the left was the Tower of London Bridge, or whatever it's called.
You could have gone to a nice gaming bar there not too long ago.
Nah, KFC.
No, that's a reference to the pre-show for anyone who watched the pre-show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's madness. I can't wait to see this advert. Wherever it's going to be, however it's going to be presented, it's going to be glorious. Like, just to see it.
Yeah, man. Ridiculous.
Now that we know all the backstory for it, to see how it actually turned out.
Yeah. I will definitely share it with everyone if I get sent the details. Let me check my email. Have they even emailed me about any kind of follow up yet? No, they haven't. They've completely They just haven't said anything to me now.
You've done your job now.
Yeah, they'll probably just send me the money and then never talk to me ever again. Right? Like, will be what happens. Yeah.
Dan got the email.
Yeah. Dan got it. Yeah. Hey, you want to do our next thing? Yeah.
Oh, man. Unreal.
Yeah. So that was all in like a week and a half, like the whole Ireland thing, and then straight into this, and then I came home, and yeah, that's why I was at the beach, is because I need a fucking break.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah.
Holy moly, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming in clutch on the topics to talk about. I mean, it's given us like an hour's worth of story, and what an incredible story at that. My only topic after that is that I'm doing a 24-hour kart race next weekend, and that's like a preemptive topic talking about what I'm going to be doing. I don't have a storyline about what happened. I will have next month, but I'm down your way, Neely.
Oh, are you? Like,
I'm closer to you than I normally am, but I'm still the other side of London.
Can I come watch?
I had a look. It's not as close as you think, bruv.
No, it's the other side of London. It's still far away. It's the other side of London to what Josh is. So it's going to be many hours. Yeah, there's going to be many hours of driving. But you could. I could sign you up as a spectator.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I've driven to Glasgow and back for a weekend. Like, it's fine. Whatever. If it's motorways, I'll just do it. But
let's see how far. It's a Buckmore Park.
Buckmore Park. Buckmore Park kart circuit. Yes. Maidingstone. Oh, yeah. That's completely the other side of London. But I mean, I said
it was the other side of London. I mean, what do you want from me?
That's fine. I could just take the M27 along to Southampton, take the M3 up, and then go around the ring roads.
It's only 2.5 hours.
Yeah, that's fine. I could do that.
That's not bad. I mean, it's going to take me 5 to 6 hours to get there.
Yeah, okay. So I've got it better than you have.
Yeah.
Are you like staying in a hotel or just sleeping in a car or something?
Yeah, I've got a hotel booked for the Friday and the Saturday night, and I'm driving back on the Sunday, which is going to be a yeah.
I would have got the train.
Yeah. I did think about all of that, but I had to be back. I was thinking of even stopping over on the Sunday, but I kind of have to be back because we're getting the shower changed out on the Monday morning. So I need to be in, and Zex is going to be in uni. So like I was having to be back. So it's going to be a rough just drive back, I think, after having driven and not stayed awake for 24 hours, but done a 24-hour race, driven a lot in a kart, more than I have in a space of 24 hours, and then having to drive back 5.5, 6 hours up to the north. It's going to be a little rough, I think, on that Sunday night, but I've given myself the option to I'll pull over and just sleep in my car for a few hours or something if I need to.
Yeah. Me getting there is fine. It's motorway all the way until I turn off.
Yeah, it looks actually really easy for you.
Yeah, that's really easy. I can do that.
2.5 hours.
What to do is just get Josh to drive you back.
Yeah, you can drive me all the way up north, right?
Yeah, sure.
Let's see how long it would take to get back. Like how long your drive would be back.
I mean, at least the wheels aren't going to fall off either of your cars. So there is that.
Don't say that.
Now the wheel's going to come off his cart.
Yeah, I know, right? It's 6 hours still for you to get back. Anyway, so yeah, it's a long. This is the problem with living up north. You're miles away from everything. Like people have suggested oftentimes if I should do Club 100 karting, which is like it's an arrive and drive karting championship, but across different tracks, and the karts are a lot faster. And yeah, I would do it, but it's heinously expensive, and most of the tracks are. Well, I think there isn't a single track that they go to in the championship that I would do that is less than 3 hours away. And most of them are 5 to 6 hours because they're all down south. So, like, it's just it's all a lot cheaper up here, but it's away for everything.
Right? Yeah, I think this is the one that Jimmy Broadbent did, right?
Yeah.
And he's from like a Brighton area, so
yeah, it's I think Quadrant are doing it this year. Super GT was doing it with Quadrant. I don't know if Jimmy's doing it this year, but It's
Probably not.
it's the YouTuber race basically.
Yeah.
And I managed to get into it. Like they sold out within 90 seconds. So
Damn.
I was streaming the GTA 6 trailer.
Right.
I was streaming, going through that, and then I had to. Okay, it's 10 o'clock. I need to stop. I was on the site getting the booking in 90. And then afterwards, I found out they were sold out in 90 seconds. So,
Oh jeez.
it's kind of. It was lucky that we got into it, to be honest.
Who are you doing it with?
Basically, everyone who I race with normally on the championship in the the real life racing series, the higher card championship up here. I got a team together beforehand and said, "Oh, do you want to do this?" And they were like, "Yeah, we had enough people to be up for it, so we're all traveling down, and it'll be fun. I think it'll be a fun weekend, but super tiring. But I've gotten permission to stream the start and the end of the race, so they have commentary and everything, like and the proper coverage of it. So I'll basically be restreaming that. From they stream it on YouTube, so I'll be restreaming it to Twitch, so you can all come here and watch from here. As X's gonna set it all up and everything while I'm away, and maybe I can. Can you? This is something I've never tried. Can you like have a call with yourself on Discord?
I don't think so. I just have a second account.
Yeah, I'll just have to do that then.
Yeah.
But like maybe I can, because I don't think I'm going to be starting the race, so I can be on the call on Discord or something, and I can talk to you guys on the stream whilst the race is starting, for example, or something.
Can you not just get Liz to log in with her Discord account and then you can call it?
Yeah, it'll probably be the easiest way to do it. Yeah. If the Sidemen and their Seco are also going, you can network and get people to join random orgs. Please do not do this. I don't think Project Homecoming wants another summon invasion. There was a team on the list called the Slidemen, but I doubt that's them. But they've done it before, I think, right? And then last year there was some team called Senior Frogs or something, but they had that was from a YouTuber who their videos on that race got like millions of views or something. So yeah, it's a YouTuber race, I guess. And I am one of those YouTubers, but not to the extent that these other YouTubers are.
So it's for charity, right?
There's no. Well, not that I'm aware of. There's no charity element to it.
I thought it was. I could have sworn.
I don't know whether some teams might raise money for it or something on their own, but not that I've seen of any communication regarding it. And
my god! I've just seen the team entry price. Jesus Christ!
Yeah, it's £2,400.
Yeah, £800 deposit.
Yeah,
oh my word!
I had to pay 3 installments of £800.
Non-refundable.
It basically works out as an hour, £100 for an hour. So our team, we've all paid our own entry. We don't have sponsors or anything like this. So like, it's all just been a case of how many hours do you want to do? How much do you want to pay? And that's how we're going to work out the stints. Like, we're not doing it based on best strategy or anything like that. It's just how much do you want to drive and how much do you want to pay? Because that's the only way we can afford to do it otherwise.
Oh my god! Yeah, that makes sense.
Not for charity. I can see why the cart is the track is in such good nick. To be honest, with its own little commentary booth and whatnot up there. And
yeah, I know.
I mean, it makes sense if all these YouTubers are willing to pay fucking £2,400 to enter the race.
Yeah, I know.
Christ.
Yeah,
I mean, keep raising the price.
To be fair, £100 an hour for karting actually isn't too bad of a price when you put it into perspective of like.
Really?
Yeah, it's like it's not, especially when you consider it's part of an entire 24-hour race event and stuff like that.
And people tell me iRacing is expensive.
I know. Is there a prize if you win? I think that there's obviously trophies and podium, and the top 3 from each class get the chance to pay again next year.
Right.
Like they have specific slots, so if the top 3 want to do it again, you don't have to go through. You don't have to go through waiting the 90 seconds of trying to risk not getting in again. But I don't think there's an actual prize monetarily or anything like that. But there's 2 classes. There's a pro class and a rookie class. I think it's a rookie class. It's called, and we're the rookie class because we've never done a 24-hour race before. So
predictions.
Yeah.
How
you know
many?
what?
How many in the rookie class?
I have
Do
no
you
idea.
know
I have
roughly?
no idea. I
No?
don't know. Because the problem is that they can also, in the first 6 hours of the race, they can upgrade your class or change your class. So if they think you're in the rookie
Oh, that's
class,
a good
but
idea.
you're being too quick, they can put you in the pro class.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
a good
Like a
idea.
BOP sort of.
Yeah, but
Huh.
I think they also take into account your previous experience and stuff like that, because we have to fill in a form with all of our previous karting experience and experience with the event and stuff like that. So, none of us have ever done a 24-hour race before. Some of the guys on the team have raced it to a relatively high level in karting. Some of us haven't. I've only ever done higher karts. So there's a mix there. I can't see them putting us in pro, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But
So do the team have any aims for where you want to be?
I don't think we
Are
do.
you aiming for that podium?
But I have a personal aim of getting on the podium. I would like to get on the podium in the rookie class. I'd be happy with
Nice.
that. I'd be disappointed if we finished bottom half of the class or something. Top half of our class would be good. Podium is the aim. Unless they put us in the pro class halfway through and we're doing really good or something like that. We're not going to win. I highly doubt we're going to win overall, because there's teams that have done it multiple years in a row, and teams that they have people who, like I do the higher kart championship every month at my local track. Some of the teams that do the 24-hour race will be teams of people who only do the higher kart championship at their track, so they're going to be quicker and know what they're doing and stuff. So those will be the pro teams, I imagine.
And what are the chances of you getting a slower cart?
Yeah, that's the one thing you never know. They are higher karts, but I would hope that they would be doing some testing on them to make them at least.
That's when you'll know. If you get a slow cart, you'll know it's an absolute scam. All that money's just going into the track owner's bank account.
I know, yeah.
None of it's going back into the track.
I know.
No, it would be a miserable 24 hours.
I know. And
I can see the video now. It's like, we would have overtaken. This guy went past me. Nothing I could do. It's faster. Right?
And I guess the car performances could change over the course of the 24 hours. There's certain pit stops where you have to come in and they'd service the kart for 10 minutes, and those are mandatory for every team. And I imagine we'll pick the kart numbers at random on the day.
I thought they would have multiple carts and you just swap in them.
I think they have extras to swap, but they're only if there's a problem. You get that cart, you keep that cart for the full 24 hours. If there's a problem, it will get fixed. If they can't fix it in 10 minutes, then you get a new cart. I think those are the rules. But anything can happen.
Get them up on the dyno before you agree.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. I hope that they've done some sort of.
Dyno.
I want them to have some sort of testing on them. Hopefully they do, because it's their biggest race of the year. It's probably certainly the biggest higher kart race ever in the year. They should do some testing on the karts to make sure they're as equal as they can be. Unlike my local track, where some of them are 3 to 4 seconds per lap slower. If they're not going to have that amount of difference, I don't think.
Hope that's the case.
But even half a second a lap on a 50-second lap over 24 hours is going to be a lot of time. So, it's just, it is what it is. We've got to have some fun and enjoy the experience more so than anything else. From a content perspective, I really want to start the race. But from a competitive perspective, I don't. So there's going to be that balance all the way through of competition versus content.
Have you had a chance to check the track out? Do you think there's anything that would? Do you think there's any problem areas on the track that are going to cause you issues?
I don't think so. I mean, it's the lap times are it's about 15 seconds to 20 seconds per lap. Shorter than the track I'm used to, so it's a shorter track. It's going to be less corners to figure out. And looking at the layout of it, it's not too bad. There's one or two there might be one corner where it's an uphill right-hander, might be a little bit tricky, and a couple of faster corners where you can't go too wide or something. But I don't think it's too bad.
Do you get much practice?
We'll get 90 minutes before the start of the race, which
Oh,
the last 10 minutes of that is qualifying. So really it's 80 minutes of practice, and that's split between the 6 of us, obviously.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how much of that do you get each?
Yeah.
Oh,
To be fair, some of the
couple of laps each.
I'm planning to go down on Friday early and maybe see if I can get some laps in on the Friday, but I don't want to do too much because then I'll be dead. You know, I'm going to be dead after the first stint of like 2 hours of straight driving. The second stint is going to be a challenge all on its own. So I don't want to do too much in terms of advanced practice the day before, maybe 15 minutes or something, just to get a leg up on the track layout. But, you know, it's our first time. We can't expect too much. We're not expecting to win the whole thing or anything. But,
Look at Benny in chat shedding some light on the endurance racing mentality. Look at that.
You'll enjoy the night shift. Air temp will be cold, but your mind will be sharp because of this. Right, okay.
He knows,
Oh yeah, what's the weather like at Buckmore that weekend? Oh my god. But anyway, I'd love to come down.
All right. I mean, I
sleep
can
in a car or something.
Put you down as a spectator. I'll send you the form that you need to fill in to register yourself as a spectator.
Yeah, okay. I can bring my camera, do some recording for you or something.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of hotels that are really close as well. Like, I'm in a hotel that's literally down the road from.
Okay. Maybe I'll have a look at that.
Let me see. Because at the minute I'm going to be last in the cart, and that's at 11:30 at night.
Oh god!
So I'll be getting in at 11:30 and getting out at 1:30 a.m. That'll be my first stint, because the idea being that I will then finish the race again for a content perspective. But I feel like if we qualify well, then it'll be better to have our lighter, quicker drivers in, because there's a couple of we all have different weights, and weight is a big impact, especially on the higher carts. So the lighter drivers we're planning to start with, and a couple of the drivers have also, I think, driven Buckmore Park before as well. So, and one of the guys is very experienced, has driven Buckmore Park, and is one of our lightest drivers. So we've got him earmarked to start the race.
Okay.
But I feel like if we're not qualified in like the top 10 or something like that, then maybe I would just start just for the content, because it's not going to make that much of a difference being in the mid pack anyway.
I also hate to break it to you. But it's raining that entire week.
Oh, really?
Oh, lovely.
Yeah,
you're going to be miserable.
Yeah, the rain starts Monday and doesn't end until I can't even scroll that far. So like the next Friday at least. Like,
oh God, okay.
It's gonna be absolutely pouring down of rain.
I know that.
Oh, okay. It dries out in the morning of Sunday, but.
I know that one of the I think 3 years ago or something, it rained the whole way through. Then one of them last year was all dry, or the year before that was like half dry and then half rain.
Oh,
so there is a potential that it will be wet, but I mean, we're all fairly good in the wet as well.
Okay. Are you good at 4 degrees at night though? Like,
that's a fair point. Well, no, yeah, actually, yes. I've driven in much colder temperatures than that. At Warden Law, so in the night, at darkness, those endurance races we did in the snow, that was Baltic.
Okay, fair enough. That's good. So it may actually play to your strengths. Then
maybe
you're right.
But yeah, it'll be. I mean, the problem is that it's a new track for us, for a lot of us. So trying to figure out where the dry line's going to be in the wet is going to be where the grippy is going to be in the wet is going to be difficult. So. We're just we're gonna have some fun with it. That's all it is.
Okay.
And make sure everybody gets their allotted amount of time driving, because we've all paid for the right amount.
Yeah.
All right. And it's a 24-hour race, so anything can happen. We could have cart breakdowns and all sorts could go on. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
And at least I'll be able to stream it. Yeah, so you can stick around.
You say the start and the end?
The start and the end, yeah. So
so like for an hour or two? Or?
Yeah, I would say probably for an hour and a bit, maybe.
Yeah.
Unless, like, say I'm starting the race or something, I would just have my entire stint on. Stream my entire stint. But maybe I can. There's no way Xerxes going to be awake to be able to do my stint and load up the stream again for that. So probably not. But yeah, it's. We'll see what we can do, at least. All right.
Good luck to you.
Thank you. And I'll make a video of it, obviously, afterwards as well. There's going to be a video this week that will be a real-life racing video talking about the 24 hours and letting people know how to watch it and stuff like that. But then there will be a video about the 24-hour race. And I'm aiming for something that's like on the level of the football video from last year. Something like that would be nice in terms of quality.
We want behind-the-scenes footage as well. You better be vlogging.
Yeah. Well, thing is, I don't like to do it live. Like, I much prefer.
Don't care what you like.
Oh.
I'll bring a GoPro and shove it in his face.
Yeah.
I like to get all the footage and then do my audio recording of that afterwards. Yeah, I've got one of those too.
So, Broughy, how did it go? Like,
Okay.
That's what you want, right?
Is that what's going to be happening? Is it?
Yeah, you get out of the car. I'm like, Broughy.
Yeah, I'm just in 2 hours in a. I'm spent. I need water.
You're like freezing cold in the rain.
Yeah, yeah.
Out of the car.
Camera shoved in my face.
Yeah, that's the content though. You'll love it.
All right. Gaming news then, I guess. We can blast through this. So
the thing that we started right at the start.
The thing that we started at the very start of the podcast, yeah, and we're finally getting to it now. There was too much chaos at the start.
It was chaos at the start. Yeah.
What was it? Yeah, the crew being not only shut down, but like also removed from people's libraries and stuff like that. And now there's a petition. There's a UK petition. I don't know whether there's one in the US as well, I think. But I'll link it in case anyone wants to fill it out. Require video game publishers to keep games they have sold in a working state.
Yeah.
And it needs to happen, really. It's kind of crazy that you can buy a game and then years down the line they can just remove your ability to play that game. It's like theft. It's just stealing a product that you bought.
I would probably go a little bit further with the petition. The petition states that, leave it in a working state. I would say if it's not economically feasible to leave it in a working state, then give the community the tools to maintain it themselves.
Yeah, so I actually follow the guy who does this. I can't remember his name. Ross Scott. I follow him doing this. Yeah, Cursed Farms. Yeah. He's been talking about doing this for ages because Ubisoft were talking about he hates the destruction of video games, right? And he's been waiting for a high-profile one to get shut down for so long, and then Ubisoft, who's in France with like super strong consumer protection laws, are doing it. Yeah, because he said like, oh, thank God a French company did this and not an American one, because then we'd be screwed. But yeah, so he posted the UK petition, the one that we're reading, is like that he tweeted that he specifically had to lessen the wording of it because it like got rejected because it was too aggressive or whatever.
Okay.
So that's probably why it's a bit softer with its wording. But yeah, he launched like he made a website called stopkillinggames.com, and you go on there, and no matter what country you're in on Earth, it has like a little guide of the steps that you can take, whether you own the crew or not. And yeah, it's just he basically just like hey, video games in the past, even though they held online, still work today. We just host our own servers. Like, why did we stop doing this?
Yeah, like they should
crazy.
at least put the functionality in for the community to do it themselves.
yeah, even in like a reduced state, because the community will just figure it out, right? So
yeah.
Exactly.
So
I mean, like I don't see the games companies don't see any further profit in this particular branch of the franchise. Therefore, as long as the people that take it up aren't making any profit from it either, as long as it's a free thing that nobody's profiting from, then what's the harm in just letting people have the tools to fiddle about with it themselves?
Yeah.
I mean, as long as they don't make the product look bad, as long as they like, maybe there's a condition where you have to remove the Ubisoft logos or whatever. I mean, calm the fuck down, eh?
Yeah, I know, right?
It's ridiculous because they sell all these games as like, they don't sell them like as a license or anything. They sell it as like a product, But like it's all like the right to repair stuff, right? Like all the tractors, all the farmers fighting the right to repair the stuff. It's like you can't just sell a product and then take it away later.
Yeah.
It's not like we're buying a license or something to a thing that like has to renew every year or anything. It's like a full product. And it's like, yeah, it goes against like consumer laws to just like take it away later. But of course they take it in a way where in a way where like according to the law, you still own a copy of the game. It's just that copy of the game is useless and does nothing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's like they need to fix that part. But yeah, it's like,
I mean,
if you're listening and you owned The Crew and you live in France, you're an extremely important asset.
yeah,
Right?
you have a strong position.
They really want you to do shit. Like in France, if you have like a consumer problem with like a company or whatever, and they don't respond to you in a satisfactory way within like 30 days or whatever, you can get the government to pay for like legal counsel for you, which is like insane, right? Like you don't even have to pay like legal fees. Like
And
the
what was
government
that
will do it
website
for
called
you.
again? StopKillingGames.com.
StopKillingGames.com.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what people can
You go
to
there
in that
and
situation.
it's like plain language for everything. Just like, hey, here's what you got to do. And like, yeah, if you live in any any country, it tells you what to do. I mean, it's for 8 countries, and then there's a everywhere else button. But you know, like,
Yeah,
it works. Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is
like,
what is happening to games, though. Like with the Ubisoft. I don't know whether it was the CEO, but someone at Ubisoft saying that people need to get used to the idea of not owning their games.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they did with DVDs and movies and stuff like that. It's like, no, thanks.
Yeah,
I don't think I will.
and I'm really worried about this for like game preservation stuff for like Steam. Like what happens when Valve stops existing or stops being cool or whatever.
Yeah.
Like Gabe Newell retires and then the company goes public, right? And then Steam turns to shit. Like how awful is that going to be?
Gets bought by Elon Musk.
Because sure, exactly.
Yeah, what happens to your games when Steam no longer exists?
Yeah, like everyone loves to have all their games on Steam and won't buy them anywhere else because Steam is cool. It's like, okay, but what happens when Steam isn't cool, right? And all your games are going to be held hostage by a shit system. It's like, yeah, stuff like that. I'm worried about cloud gaming. I know I just did a promotion for it, but like I'm also worried about that. Like what happens like when everyone starts just like not owning things and just renting stuff from a company that never owns video games. I don't know.
Cloud gaming isn't really. I mean, it's really not taking off in the way that people were expecting it to. So I mean, I don't think you've got much to worry about in terms of that. You've got like 2 big players. You've got Xbox and like GeForce Now, and that's it. Amazon have dipped their toe in. But do you ever hear anybody talk about Amazon, Luna?
Yeah.
No, you do not. Me talking about it now is maybe the first time you've ever heard about it. But yeah, they did a thing like Stadia, and it's live now, and nobody fucking uses it.
I don't think I had any idea about that. But yeah, the thing that I've been seeing, the saying that I've been seeing going around is if buying doesn't mean owning, then piracy doesn't mean stealing or something like that.
That's how
it's exactly right.
I like that. I've never heard that before.
I've heard
really
that
good,
a few
actually,
times now. It makes total sense. If me buying
it
the
does.
game doesn't mean I own it, then if I pirate it, then I'm not stealing it from you. So
yeah.
Oh
dear.
Yeah, horrific.
Yeah.
And that's just most games now. That's the problem. That's most of the gaming community, the gaming landscape of developers and publishers. That's just how it's going. Apart from the very few good ones.
Yeah. So I don't know what'll happen with all this stuff that Ross is doing, but he's like super passionate about this, but admittedly doesn't know about law stuff, but he's got a lot of people helping him.
Yeah.
He's been like working on this for years, I guess. He's had a series on his YouTube channel called like Dead Game News for like when was the first Dead Game News? I'm gonna look this up. But this is
I can imagine this will will actually get a fair bit of traction. So yeah, good luck to him.
Yeah, I hope it does. I mean, I
Because
think
it's
it
something
already
that's been
has.
worrying me for a while.
The first Dead Game News episode was 2016.
Right.
Or he's been like on the drums about this. It's like, hey, can we stop this?
Yeah.
So yeah.
And what was the whole tipping devs thing?
Oh my god! Oh god!
Yeah.
I only briefly saw that because I was in
I
Ireland.
only briefly like it came across and we talked about it a little bit in the pre-show. But what was actually said about that?
What was the? Let me find the actual
so
quote.
The tweet I've got it here. Mike Ibarra, formerly of Blizzard, I think. Formerly. I don't think he's still there. Maybe he's still there. I don't know. I don't care. He says, I've thought about this idea for a while. As a player, since I've been diving into single-player games recently, when I beat a game, there are just some games that leave me in awe of how amazing the experience was. At the end of the game, I've often thought, I wish I could give these folks another 10 or $20 because it was worth more than my initial $70, and they didn't try to nickel and dime me every second. Games like HZD, GOW, RDR2, BG3, Elden Ring, etc. I know $70 is already a lot, but it's an option at the end of the game I wish I had sometimes. Some games are just that special. I know most will dislike this idea. By the way, I realize we are tired of tipping in everything else, but I view this different from a pressure to tip type scenario many face and give feedback on.
Okay,
Well.
hot take. I don't think anything he said there is that bad. Like we're streamers. Like we get tips and donations.
Yes.
I feel like it'd be pretty hypocritical to.
Yes, Josh, you do, yeah, but that money that gets tipped to the devs doesn't actually go to the devs.
Sorry, yes,
does it?
Okay, yeah, that thing. Yeah, now we've turned me all 180 degrees.
Yeah.
Yeah, excellent point. Yeah, fuck it. I was just giving money to the fucking like suits.
You're just giving extra money to the executives.
Yeah, you're right.
None of it gets filtered down to the devs.
To be able to pick, like, the sounds.
The tipping mechanism is already there. If you love a game, you'll buy a shit ton of merch related to that game sometimes.
True.
You'll buy a t-shirt. You'll buy an art book. You'll buy a fucking plushie. You'll buy all this. That money also goes back into the devs' pockets. So at the end of the day, Mike Ibarra, go fuck yourself, eh?
Yeah, no, you're right. And I was like, it would work if it's like, oh, I thought the sound was really good in the game. Let me give like the sound team some money.
Let me go
right?
into the credits and find the sound team. Oh, I really like the sound of the crunching when somebody was walking along a gravel path. So, it's Pete Forsyth that did that. Excellent. Right, Pete, there you go. There's 10 quid.
Yeah. I that's what I said in the podcast when this came up, and I was like, oh, so like to directly to the devs, is that what he was saying? And it's like, no, like that. It only works if it actually goes to the devs. He's totally happy to tip the devs.
He's coming from the very the devs, and games cost too much to make, because you pay your executives too much, and you have way too many people in your organization.
Take-Two, speaking of paying CEOs and stuff, it was a couple of I think this is true that a couple of months ago, they gave the CEO an extra God knows how many millions in bonuses.
Oh, I've got that story in my Discord because I posted it the other day because somebody posted about the massive job cuts at Take-Two. Let me find it.
So they gave the CEO millions and millions, multiple tens of millions in bonuses, and the CEO said, "Oh yeah, we're not looking at any job cuts anytime soon." And then a couple of days ago, 600 jobs lost from Take-Two. They've made 600 people, cancelled a lot of projects. It's like, well, if you didn't pay him those millions.
Yes, this was in August, right? Take-Two doubled its executives' pay last year. Strauss-Zelnick's compensation package topped $42 million, jumping from over $16 million the year before.
Oh, God.
And they said, "Oh, it's because we've had a very good year."
So,
Yeah. So the reason that you're getting rid of your staff is to make it look like you've had an even better year this year, when in fact you've actually not.
yeah, I think they had losses, right, over the last couple of quarters.
Well, they will have done because they're not shipping anything really.
Yeah. So how come
they haven't got anything to
how
ship
come the
until
CEO
GTA
can
comes
get
out?
millions of bonuses when they're doing well, but he doesn't get a pay decrease when they do bad? How does that? How does that work out? That's so strange.
Capitalism, my friend.
Oh,
It's
dear.
almost he's the one who makes the decisions and runs the company. Of course, yes.
Or even if they get fired, they get like a golden bonus parachute
I know,
before
yeah.
they leave, right? Yeah.
Any other random dev gets fired and they get kicked out with like a couple of months of holdover money, and then CEO gets fired and it's like, oh, here's your tens of millions or hundreds of millions to see you through. Like, oh God Almighty!
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that's not just in the gaming industry. That's every large corporation at the moment. Every large corporation is doing exactly the same thing, and nobody's doing anything about it.
Yeah, so we fired a bunch of folks, and now we have several millions of dollars that appeared out of nowhere in our budget. We did well. Let's pay ourselves a bonus. Like, that's how it works.
Exactly.
That's how it works.
Exactly.
I just don't understand how they can expect to like continue to be, well, reasonably profitable and decent companies in the space that they're in if this is the sort of stuff that they do. I don't get it.
Like,
there's got to be an end point somewhere.
It's the brazenness of it as well. It's not even as if it's like, oh, let's do this and nobody will notice. Everybody sees what you're doing. Everybody sees what you're doing. And it keeps happening. It just keeps happening.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, if everyone's doing it, you can't be mad at every company, right? If it was just one company, it's kind of like the whole tax haven situation, where like all these companies in the EU are using Ireland as a tax haven just because it's less like taboo than using like, I can't remember the other tax havens, like the less like
the Virgin Islands and stuff and things.
Stuff like that.
I think Ubisoft. I think it's Ubisoft headquartered, and Take-Two, I think, headquartered in the Netherlands.
Yeah, exactly.
Where they have like a tiny little...
Is that like with Amazon being in the Luxembourg and stuff like that?
Yeah, stuff like that. They're all like still doing the tax haven thing, but like not in the like really obvious countries for tax havening. Yeah. It's just like, it's just awful. Like every company is it started in like tech.
That's why I was getting annoyed with like Rockstar, because like Rockstar don't pay any taxes, right? They don't pay any UK taxes, right? And they get a tax rebate for that stupid loophole of including UK content. So it's like, we're paying them to exist and none of the money is coming back into the UK. So why are we doing this?
Those billions and billions they've raked in, and like, it's just.
Meanwhile, our NHS is dying on its arse. Give us a bit of your money, you dickheads.
Oh well. So great gaming news this week, everybody. We had a lot of fun.
It's a bit depressing, in all honesty.
I don't really have anything for Racing Corner or Speedrun Corner, so if you guys don't have anything,
well, Speedrun Corner, somebody just set a couple new world records.
When will we hear about that? Will it be part of an advert somewhere? There's some official coverage of it.
I mean, I guess like Speedrun Corner, I could talk a little bit about, like, I've been doing PS2 runs of San Andreas recently.
Oh, I saw you mention about that. Didn't you mention about that last month, that like you said you happened to do it and you happened to set a world record or something, because nobody had set PS2 speedrun records or something like that, or hadn't done it for years.
Not like a proper one, like a few casual runs and stuff. And I turn up and do like a for fun run, and I'm like looking at the grass and showing all the differences and stuff, and but I've been really enjoying running on PS2 again.
I was just going to say, how do you feel? How are you finding the game on PS2? Because when I did my playthroughs, I did them on PS2. Well, PS5,
PS3,
but
right?
like the PS2 emulation of that. but I
Yeah.
wanted to have the original experience with that. But I
Mhm.
did get the PS2 out and looked at my old game saves. That's just how I
Right.
remember playing them back in the day. How are
Mhm.
you finding the PS2 experience?
Yeah, I mean, I've modded the PS2 to hell, right? Like,
Right.
like I'm not using the DVD drive to load games. I'm using like FreeMcBoot and OPL UBPDB, something like that. I'm loading the games off my computer basically. Like my computer is like emulating a DVD drive over the network, and like the PS2 is loading it from
Right.
that, and it's way faster. And I'm using like I've got these little. Let me show you. I don't know if I can get these out. Okay, I can't get it, but I've got little USB. I've got little controller port things that make it Bluetooth.
Right.
So I'm using my PS4 controller on my PS2, which is just good. And yeah, I've got like a RetroTink 5X upscaler that I'm using to upscale the game into like 1440p. So yeah, I'm having a great time. This is great. I love retro gaming.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm a speedrunner. It makes sense. Yeah, no, I've been enjoying it. I'm sort of used to speedrunning on controller anyway, from where I did Vice City Stories speedruns. So this is pretty similar to that.
Right.
But yeah, it's
fun.
orange. It's great.
It's orange? What's orange?
The game, like the lighting, right?
Oh, right.
in
Okay. Yeah,
Andreas.
San Andreas. Yeah, it's more orange.
Yeah, because they didn't port the lighting correctly to.
Right. Yeah.
It's like the way I think of it is every single port of San Andreas got a little bit worse.
Right.
So like they went from PS2 to PC, and they they went to from PS2 to PC, and the game got a little bit worse because they fucked up the graphics and stuff. But it's PC, so it's like, you know, better in other ways.
Yeah.
And the Xbox one was a bit worse, and then they ported it to then Xbox 360 and stuff, and that was worse. And they're just the further down this chain you go, the worse and worse and worse it is. And we end in Definitive Edition Netflix mobile.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. The absolute bottom of the barrel.
Yeah. So yeah, playing the original version of the game is quite nice.
Had you played it before, the original version? On
Yeah,
PS2?
that's what I played originally.
Originally, back in the day, yeah.
Yeah, I stole my cousin's copy of the game because I wasn't allowed it.
Of course. The glory days of gaming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you set any records? So did you set the record originally, or?
Yeah, I got the No Major Glitches records on that fun run I did, and then I did like an actual try-hard run and beat it by like an hour and a half.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna look at doing any percent with all the dupes and glitches and stuff, but where it's like not PC, it works totally differently. So I'm gonna have to like make up a route with some people, which will be fun.
Yeah, because a lot. How many all the glitches that have been found on PC? I'm guessing not all of them translate over to the PS2. I mean, a lot of them maybe don't.
The main difference is if you dupe a cinematic cutscene, so a cutscene that has mocap in it. If you dupe the mission, like start it twice, the game crashes on console. It's the same with VCS. So like the consoles just can't handle that for some reason.
Right.
But on PC, it's fine. It just works. I guess we have more RAM or something.
Yeah.
I'm not sure the technical reason. But yeah, so I'd have to avoid that. But otherwise, yeah, everything's working. I'm like slide glitching and stuff on controller. I have to. It takes me like a second. I have to like think about it. I'm like, wait, what buttons do I have to press?
Yeah.
But the PC version, the way it works is that your keyboard and mouse inputs are just emulating a PS2 controller under the hood anyway.
Right, okay.
So everything works like it does normally.
Yeah,
for me, it's sort of the same. Just I'm actually using the raw controller for it.
It's funny how that works. Like you have to like actually think about it, what buttons you're pressing like on the controller. Whereas for me, it's the other way around. Whenever I do anything with mouse and keyboard, if it's got anything more than WASD, maybe spacebar for a jump, and then the mouse to move around, and triggers to the mouse button for triggers. I lose. I played Helldivers this morning, and I played the tutorial on keyboard and mouse for like 5 minutes before I was like, okay, I'm going to controller, and it was just so much better.
Yeah.
That's
I would
funny.
admit the same.
That's funny.
Mouse is good for like one thing, and that's aiming, and that's it.
Everything
else about
it's just what I've grown up with.
I'm here with my MMO mouse. Right? Like even more million buttons on my mouse. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, me and Faye are the opposite. We struggle with controllers.
And it makes sense. Like if you've done more mouse and keyboard and like stuff, like it's just Yeah, I'm so used to controllers that it's so
Yeah.
difficult.
I'm
go
using
to
all the
keyboard.
buttons on my keyboards
Yeah.
for speedruns. I'm using like the 3 and 4 buttons, the F keys I'm using and stuff. Yeah, I think the furthest I reach ever is for H and Y and N. I need those in San Andreas.
Right. Okay.
But
Grief.
yeah, all my layout on my stream, I have like a little mini keyboard that shows you what button I'm pressing when.
Right.
Just in case something crazy happens, you can figure it out, or like you can learn from me and stuff. But like, yeah, it has like, it goes all the way to the Y, H, and N keys. Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah, as soon as you start adding in like E, R, F, C, Z, Alt, Shift, like my brain just stops working.
Right.
I can't handle it.
Yeah, looking at it, I don't use Z or X or T. Otherwise, I use every other button between like Q and Y, H, N. Yeah.
Crazy. Oh, speaking of VCS, I was playing it on Wednesday for my playthrough.
Oh, yeah.
And I got to a mission that I am struggling with. And Dorogen said, "Oh, let me look it up on Josh's speedrun, see how he does it." And he said, "Oh yeah, he skips that."
Yeah, well, you look at the no major glitches run. Come on.
To be fair, I wouldn't have wanted to know how it's done to like cheese it or anything. I could have used save states and stuff. People were saying, "Oh, just use a save state," and it's like, no, I want to do it properly. If I'm going to do it, I'm on my like 6th attempt when I get back onto it next Wednesday now. But yeah, it's rough. It's very rough.
Is it the helicopter mission?
It's the mission where you've got to take down the antennas, so on the police stations, and then the final antenna is on top of the police station in the downtown area, and then there's a helicopter to get onto, but then you've got to lose 5 stars. But you're in the helicopter. You don't need to get in the helicopter, but it seems like the obvious way to just get out of that situation. But then the times where I've managed to, I've landed it a few times. The helicopter got into a car, but the cops are just so ridiculous at that level that they destroy the car immediately. And then one time I managed to get in the car at the Diaz mansion. It was a cheater. And I thought, oh, finally, there was no cops coming into the mansion. All I've got to do is drive to the paint spray from here, and it'll be fine. And I drove, got a little bit away down the road. There was a roadblock, and it just instant death.
Insta kills you.
Yeah, and like I was like, okay, we got to try it again next week. I can't. I stopped the stream at that point.
Oh my god, yeah, that mission. If people want to see how to do it, don't tell Broughy. But like, yeah, look at my no major glitches run on the leaderboard. You'll kick yourself when you see what I'm doing.
Is it a cheesy way to do it, or is it the intended way to do it? But it's like that's the way that you should do it because that's the easiest.
You said you were using the helicopter, right?
Yeah.
You're almost there. It's the last like losing the police step that you're struggling with.
Yeah,
that we have a thing for. Yeah.
My next thing that I was gonna do was getting the helicopter and taking it to like trying to find where the bribes are. The stars. I was going to try and find where they are and take the helicopter and land on a few of those to get it down a bit before I get a car.
Yeah, okay, that could work. Yeah. It'd be slow, obviously, but that would work. Yeah.
I'll be interested to once I've done it. I'll be doing it on Wednesday. So once I've done it, I'll be interested to see how it should be done.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's nothing crazy that we're doing. It's just you'd be annoyed if you saw it. It's very simple.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Right. I'm surprised. Did you get stuck in the forklift mission?
I ran out of time on the first attempt, and I did it on the second attempt. The first attempt, I didn't. It was my own fault, to be honest. I was messing about too much. I could have done it the first time, really.
Did you just drive forwards when you were doing it?
No, but the reason that I think, if I remember right, the reason that I failed it is because I went back and then got stuck, and I was doing this Austin Powers on the final one, but I should have made it time wise, really.
Yeah, so the trick in that mission is the forklift is way faster in reverse.
I was driving it forward. Yeah,
if you reverse the forklift, the steering is on the right side of the car as well, like the front. so it just handles
so it
like
just
a normal
handles like
car.
a car. So
But it's mirrored, but it handles like a normal
Yeah,
car
yeah.
and is way faster.
Oh,
Yeah, so
okay,
you just
that makes
we
sense.
do the same in San Andreas. So you just always reverse the forklift. You never drive it forward.
Okay, that makes total sense.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I'll have to. Are these coming out on YouTube? I want to catch up with these. I like. Are
They
you
will,
enjoying
but
it?
No, I am. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
They will come out on YouTube, but not until I've finished the whole playthrough on Twitch first.
Okay,
so
okay.
it's
Yeah,
not going to
yeah,
be for a while.
Yeah. VCS is my favorite one.
Oh, I got
hope you like it.
11 content because I've put the first episode up because of all the music that I have on. I got 11 content claims on the first episode. Two of them have kept it on though. They've rejected my claim. So the rest of them haven't, and the first episode of all the other Liberty City Stories, San Andreas, Vice City, they've all been fine and they're all clear. But this one isn't going to be because of those two that have decided to reject my claim. But at least it's not the ones that block it in countries, which is what the other ones, some of the others did. So
I tried that thing that you said where you just upload it and then just dispute it, and everyone rejected my dispute.
Oh, they did?
This doesn't work.
Oh, okay. I must have been more lucky then.
Yeah, but yeah, okay, that's cool. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Yeah, it's such a the last half of it. Have you started taking over territories yet?
I've done a few of missions? The Empire business missions. I've done a few, but not a great deal.
Not on the second island, then?
Yeah, no, I'm on the second island, and I've done a lot of what's his name? Mendez. I've done Mendez missions.
But okay, so you know the sharks that gangster. My advice, and this isn't spoilery, don't take over the shark.
Already know about that.
Help it.
Yeah,
the shark attacks.
Yeah, horrific.
Yeah. They're fucking 4 dudes with AK-47s just drive up in a 4x4, crash into you, get out, and instantly kill you. There's even in speedruns, there's nothing we can do. We just avoid taking over their territory.
Yeah.
Horrendous.
Horrific. Yeah,
okay,
I've learned that.
Okay, cool. okay. Don't mess with the sharks.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right then. I think that's about it. Unless anyone's got anything else.
No.
Considering we didn't really have anything to talk about, we do well, don't we? So talked for 2 hours in these podcasts. Hopefully, there's all of us next month where we can. Hopefully, we'll be able to see your ad if it's out by then. We'll be able to have my story of the 24-hour race. We will have met. I guess if you're going to be attending it.
If I come to the thing,
hopefully, and we've got all of Noss's things that he wanted to talk about this week that looks interesting. So there's going to be a load to talk about next month.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
All right, thank you guys very much for watching. Thanks for being here. Do you want to say goodbye, guys?
Bye.
Bye.
See you later, guys. Bye.